YouTube's an interesting space because it's built as this land of impossibilities where even you can become the next Kai Cenat if you just sit in your room playing video games long enough. With Dragon Ball Sparking Zero on the way, that same sense of potential is beginning to build in the eyes of could-be YouTubers. The question is it already too late to start? Afro Senju is weighing in on the topic, with many people feeling at a loss with all of the exclusivity granted to big-name creators. He says, I've been seeing a discussion about smaller creators feeling like bigger creators are hurting the come up for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. In my opinion, content creation has always been competitive. You just have to plan, execute, and keep it pushing. Someone will always be number one. Put the work in to make it you. There's always food on the table with a new game. You just have to find a way to get you a plate. And that's more of the platitudes you're sort of sold by older creators, because at the time, that was them. Everyone started somewhere, and unless you're an overnight success like some drama channels become, it's hard to discount that most of your favorite YouTubers put in years of effort before that pop. That said, let's be honest, it's hard to be wishful when someone's been doing this thing for almost a decade. It's too daunting a task for a lot of people to pick up whatever they're doing and force themselves to languish in that one view, zero subscribers hell. We're all human, and in case you didn't know, young Timmy, humans are really bad with time. Like, we get it, but if I asked you to tell me where you'll be in 10 years like some underpaid youth counselor, you'd probably stumble over the answer because who fucking knows? In theory, Sparking Zero will usher in a creator or two that enjoys a pop from reliable IP that have been begging for a new edition. But how will you do? What should you look out for? Have the developers already alluded to the thing you should be focusing on? If you've been paying attention to the publicity cycle for the game, I have a feeling that the answer is already pretty apparent. You see, we don't really know how well the game is going to handle online. It could be awful, it could be okay, and by some stretch of the imagination, it could even be great. I think this is where the temptation lies. Dododoya, Rhyme, Syriax, plenty of others will no doubt curve the interest of the what if side of things. Are you as genuinely funny as Dododoya? If not, I wouldn't look too far into the future as far as what ifs are concerned. Unless you're someone who plans to create them on channel and maybe serve as a guide for that thing, it feels like this stranglehold is too limited to our most charismatic creators. But I come from fighting games. It's the part of my brain that I use when deconstructing characters in Dokkan Battle and applying some of the expectations for a well-rounded kid when talking about the game's design space. And, as of a few weeks ago, that style of video, going over an entire year of characters for the game, is my most popular. You see, before this I had made 90 or so videos to low success. It's no big deal, because I enjoyed making them, learning, so on. For Sparking Zero, I think the same can be applied. Go to YouTube and type in Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, or Tekken. You'll probably see a lot of the same types of videos having the most views. The kind that helps the new player who just got washed in a 1v1 learn what they're doing wrong. If you're someone who has a mind for fighting games, whether they be a platformer, 2D, 3D, arena, or whatever, it's time to buckle in. Unless you're a channel people go to for reliable full plays of story modes, cutscenes, whatever, it's just not worth waiting around to hopefully be the guy to upload it first. What you can do is gather resources from online in the space while grinding the game yourself to create a knowledge gap that people crave. So to answer the question of whether you should bother breaking into the space, yes, but be mindful of the giants around you. It's often worth borrowing video ideas if you're in a drama space, news space, challenge space, or something similar like a Ludwig/Mogul Mail. But we video game players have to move smartly. If you're watching this and counting the hours, it's time to collect the breadcrumbs of competitive tech that people have been leaking between the early access, game show presentations, and so on. The rank mode will apparently have a character cost limit, which means people are going to want teams, guides, and overviews. Get cracking. Ultimately, my biggest piece of advice is just to enjoy what you're doing. Enjoy whatever it is you're making, and try not to think too much about where this will go in 2 years, or 3 years, or 4 years, etc. This isn't your plan A. This shouldn't even be your plan B, really. Just have fun. As for Sparking Zero, the game, it looks pretty good. I mean, duh, but most people have a very positive light on the game. If I were to say one thing, it's that I don't know if you should buy the game early for that 3-day access window. It just seems kind of, I don't know. There's something about the online just never really being alluded to by the developers that I'm so curious about, because if I'm not recording for YouTube or recording with, Rhyme style at some point, you know what I mean? Like, is this game going to have enough content to actually be worth it? It feels like a Kakarot situation. If you guys remember Kakarot, I enjoyed Kakarot the game. It wasn't great mechanically, but it could be fun in spaces. But Kakarot really showed its hand after a very short amount of time, and I'm sort of feeling like Sparking Zero could be a bit of the same. You sort of see that pushback with a lot of people where anyone who says anything even remotely negative, anyone who even asks a possibly negative question is dogpiled on, and I don't really want to join in on that list of people who, throws their hat into the ring with a negative question and gets pummeled by the community, because I really don't have that much of a negative cant for the game. It's just I'm seeing a few things that come up when it comes to big IP titles, and unfortunately, the Dragon Ball IP is kind of handled like dog shit, especially in 2024. Or 2023, I guess. 2024 has been okay. So I'm just kind of like worried, I guess. I just have this like healthy skepticism about it that can't really go away. I can't shake it. And I want to, I want it to be the best game ever and not really worry me 2 months from now, because $70 is a lot. I feel like, again, feels like people have like lost their minds when it comes to AAA games, that like you can just pay $70 for something, and so long as you played it for a week, it's perfectly fine. And that's weird to me. It's weird to me that the culture of gaming has changed so much. But as far as the original video idea goes, and the talking about the length you should go to when considering this as a viable content creation stream, I would say keep in mind that people in any avenue of fighting game, in any competitive thing, think about how many times you got into a competitive game and immediately you said, I need to learn how to win in this thing. You didn't say, I need to learn how to have fun in this thing. You said, I need to learn how to win. That said, apparently Jiren got shown recently, and he's the most broken thing anyone's ever seen in their life. So, maybe the answer is as simple as pick Jiren, which I think that would be really funny. For how people treated Jiren when the show was airing, he's just this like gray, boring alien, like terrible backstory, boring design. It would be really funny if he turned out to be the new Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta of Sparking Zero. And I wouldn't have any problem with that, by the way. I like Jiren. I didn't think he was like as good as Frieza or Cell or, Super Boo, but I thought he was fine. He was like entertaining. I feel like in Dragon Ball Super, so long as the fight is entertaining, I'll take it, because I don't really expect like, the story to be written super consistently. Even though Dragon Ball has always had a very simple story, Dragon Ball Super is kind of here and there. So yeah, if you like this video, I've been Lone. Subscribe to join the club. We're almost at 1,000. That's pretty crazy. I guess, shouldn't count a chicken before it hatch. We're at 600 and something. I don't pay too much attention, because I'm just making these videos. Hopefully y'all are pretty entertained. Have some fun here. Play some Dokkan with me. Dokkan responsibly, as Toon Rami would say. If you made it to the end of the video, how are you feeling about Sparking Zero going forward? Are you a content creator? Are you looking to be a content creator? Have you just been waiting on Sparking Zero? Is that something that interests you? Give yourself a shout out down there. I don't mind at all. We all got to help each other, essentially. We all got to help each other. We all got to help out. It's a place of positivity and just fucking around on YouTube, right? Like, none of this is too serious. Until then, though, man, I have been Lone. We on. Subscribe to join the club. Sparking Zero, sooner than you think. Daima, sooner than you think. Dokkan, Link Level Simulator, because nothing's happening in this worldwide download celebration. Peace.